Hey everyone, this is Chappie US here with another guide on Tom Clancy's The Division. So the last couple of guides that I've made have been general guides on how to build and spec your character, different stats, information, and so forth. This one's going to be a little more focused. It's based around something that I've come to call the sticky medic. Now this build is it's a skill-based build. It's good for any type of skills that you might want to run, but I tend to run it with the sticky bomb, with BFB, and first aid with the overheal. So I call it sticky medic. It's gotten some attention. A couple days ago I threw up a video of me wiping out 2 groups of elites in the Warrengate Power Plant Challenge mode within seconds, just using sticky bombs and grenades. So you can see here it going to work a little bit. Now this is just hard mode, but you'll notice I'm getting 300k, 270 to 300k on single individuals, and it's refreshing pretty quick. That's because of the way that I've got it set up with my gear and so forth. I'm going to go into some of the specific details on that here in just a second, but you can see that it's never hitting for less than 200k even on single targets. All right. So while I come talk to Sergeant Ramos here. So a lot of people have been posting up builds, tech builds, so forth, that have massive skill power, in the 60, 70Ks or more. The beauty of this build is that it doesn't need 60 to 70k in skill power. It doesn't need a massive amount of electronics in order to get those high damage numbers, in order to get the really quick refreshes on your skill abilities. You'll notice as I go into my inventory, I'm at 2200 firearms almost, 2400 stamina, and 2600 electronics. My skill power is only sitting at 37k. The good part about that is that I still do great damage with my weapons. I still have lots of health. I still have full damage mitigation, and I still get great damage output from my sticky bombs. I always overheal with my first aid, and it's up all the time. I mean, did you see how quickly those sticky bombs came up? So let's go into some of the specifics really quick on how this is possible. So the first and probably most important part of this build is going to be the Tactician set. So the Tactician set is a new set that came out with the Incursion release. Okay, so each of the set pieces, as you get set pieces, you'll get bonuses, all right? Kind of like the talents on regular high-end gear. Now you notice on the Tactician set, 2 pieces, you have 4,000 skill power. 3 pieces, an extra 20% skill haste. And then 4 pieces, you get this amazing bonus to your skill power. So for every 60,000 damage your group deals, you get 1% skill power for a max of 100% bonus. Now that bonus goes down for every second that you're not dealing damage. So it's important that your group is just constantly going as hard as you can. Now, the reason that's so amazing is that, first of all, sticky bombs get their max damage output at 35,000 skill power. I'm 2,000 above that because I need to have the 2,500 skill power to unlock the talents on one of my guns. But really, 35,000 is kind of the cap. It's the soft cap for the sticky bomb damage, so you don't need to go above that. Now, it's a good idea to get above it because the higher you go with the skill power, the faster your skills refresh. So the beauty of the Tactician set is that even though I'm sitting at 37k, when we're pushing hard and we're doing damage and we're in the thick of things, I'm really boosting up to above 70,000 skill power. So my skills are really going on cooldown really, really fast, right? But again, I don't have to put a ton into electronics base, so I can put those stats into other things like firearms and stamina. Now the second thing that I have here is a 2-piece sentry set. I went with Sentry because the 2-piece bonus for the Sentry's call set is headshot damage. Now some people might say we'll go with 2-piece Striker because you get extra armor damage, and that's a very valid position to take. Now the reason that I go with the 30% headshot damage is because I'm really focusing on headshots with this build because of this weapon. Right now, in my opinion, with a build like this, the Caduceus is probably the best gun to be using. And that is because of this talent. All right, this is an auto rifle that has cool-headed on it. Now, cool-headed, every time I get a headshot, all skill cooldowns are reduced by 5.5%. That means that my sticky bomb is coming up extremely quickly. Now, I'm also focusing all the time. I'm really focusing on getting those headshots with this gun. So that means that the Sentry, 30% extra headshot damage, means that I'm doing that much more damage with it. I also went with the M1A that was sold last week. The M1A that was sold last week is really focused on a skill build. So killing a target reduces skill cooldowns by 9%. You'll notice that that doesn't say when using this weapon. That means that anytime I kill a target, skill cooldowns are reduced by 9%. So those two talents, the talents on my guns, are going to stack. Every kill performed while your signature skill is active reduces the cooldown of other skills by 8.5%. Okay? So it's important in any build that you're going for, that you find guns that really go along with the build, right? That are synergistic. And that's exactly what these two guns are. They really work together in conjunction to bring about extremely fast skill cooldowns. Right, the rest of the stuff is all well and good. You know, critical hits with this weapon, he'll use it for 3% damage dealt. That's great. You know, I can get rid of status effects. That's all well and good. But really, it's about the cool-headed, determined, and dominant. Okay? And of course, the critical hit chance over here by 13.5%, that stacks really nicely with the self-preserved talent on the Caduceus. So these guns are really well made to work together to make this build better. Now that doesn't mean that these are the only guns. If you don't have these guns, you can still make this build. It's still going to be quality. It's just maybe not going to be quite as fast. So the real key to making this type of a build is making sure you have the 4-piece tactician set. You're still getting the 65% damage mitigation, right, from the armor, so make sure that you've got your armor high enough. Your electronics is sitting at 35,000 skill power. That's kind of where you're going for. So your electronics, typically around 2,500, depending on the mods that you have on your gear. That's going to get you to your 35k skill power that you're going to need to make this build effective. Everything else, you're going to have to find your own balance as far as stamina and firearms. You don't necessarily need to have firearms. Again, I like having it. I like having the balance between firearms, stamina, and skill power. I'm dealing regular damage. I have good survivability. I can trash things pretty well. Also, the beauty of this build is that it's not just the sticky bombs that's coming up quickly. Right? It's also my first aid. I am constantly throwing down this first aid that always does overheal. The last part of this build that I want to talk about is the talents. Okay? So we click over here to the talents, and you'll see what I have set up right now on this build. Now, it's not always like this, depending. The thing about having so much skill power, though, is that I don't need to spec into first aid in order to get an overheal. I mean, look at this. Without anything, my overheal's always going up. Now, I overheal every time, no matter where I'm at, when I'm in combat. And look at this. I mean, without any fighting or anything, my first aid is almost up again. So I actually don't really need to spec into any special talents for the first aid, right? And so this really is built around getting that sticky bomb as powerful as I can. So I've got Demolition Expert activated, where anytime I kill a hostile with an explosion, it will increase my explosion damage by 40% for a complete 15 seconds. Now, I can get out 3 to 5 sticky bombs in that 15 seconds. And I promise you that each time a sticky bomb is coming out, practically, something is dying. I also have wildfire. You see, with BFB, which is the ability that I have activated on the sticky bomb, it has the ability to light the enemy on fire. Okay? So when we've got this talent activated right down here, applying burn to any target triggers a 30% chance to apply the effect to all targets within 10 meters. So it's extremely likely that everything in this radius is going to be lit on fire. Then, over here in the security section, damage multiple hostiles with an explosion to apply 40% more damage from the blast. These are stacking, right? These are stacking. And so the damage on the sticky bomb is just going up insanely. And right now, I have one as none set up because you'll notice I don't have a whole lot of ammo on my Caduceus right now. I haven't spec'd into extra ammo. But every time I get a headshot, I've got a 50% chance that I'm not going to use that bullet. Besides keeping more ammunition on me, this also means that I'm reloading less often. More damage on the target, more time engaging the enemy. Okay, now the beauty of these talents also is that it doesn't specify just sticky bomb. It's any explosion damage. So what I like to do is when I get in on a bunch of enemies, pop the sticky bomb and get the grenade out. Okay? Both of them together, working in conjunction, cycling through sticky bomb grenade, and you're going to be wiping out entire groups of enemies. Not only that, you're able to get that sticky bomb out, in a lot of places where your gun can't go, when they're crouching behind target, behind cover, and they're doing anything like that. You can get that sticky bomb to places where your bullets aren't gonna be reaching. This is also amazing in PvP. This isn't just a PvE spec. This is an excellent PvP spec. You go out there and you're doing max damage with your sticky bombs. You're constantly getting them up. You're always overhealing. And your survival link is recovering much faster than usual. All of this together creates a very viable PvE and PvP spec that's really fun to play. My other character, he's sitting at a 225 gear score. He's got 3K or 3,500 firearms. He's got more health. Usually he's the one that I'm taking into challenge mode and so forth, but he is not nearly as fun to play as this guy. This is just so fun to constantly be getting that explosion damage out there. And the group utility is amazing as well. How often I can get those heals down, how often I can keep the rest of my team alive. If you have any questions about this build or any other build or any questions about Tom Clancy's The Division, please feel free to contact me. I'm always willing to help people. If you need just help doing stuff in this game, just let me know. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. I want as many people to enjoy this game as possible. It's gotten a bad rap. There have been a lot of glitches, issues, and such, but it is perhaps the most intricate game on the market right now. The most intricate game I've played in a very long time, and the most variable as well. So I really want to get that out to people. So yeah, please subscribe, share it with your friends, let them know, and I hope to see you in game sometime. Thanks.